They saw the suit. They heard the sermons. They admired the smile. To the world, I had it all together. I was the voice behind the pulpit, the one they pointed to and said, "That's what a real man of God looks like." Sunday after Sunday, I stood in front of hundreds in our growing church in Lagos, Nigeria. My suits were always sharp, my words carefully measured, my smile always ready. But they didn't see the Sunday nights. They didn't see the paralyzing exhaustion that hit after the amens faded and the crowd was gone. They didn't hear the phone calls at 2 a.m. from desperate members. They didn't see my bank alerts when the church account went into overdraft. They didn't feel the pain of praying for someone else's healing while watching my own mother fade away in a hospital bed. They didn't know I hadn't taken a real break in 5 years, not because I couldn't, but because I was afraid of what would happen if I did. And more than anything, they didn't know the weight of carrying everyone's burdens while no one even asked about mine. It was a Friday. I had just returned from preaching at a youth revival. I was drained. I wanted to pray. I wanted to write. But all I could do was sit there and wonder if I still believed everything I had preached. Then came the knock. 3 short, desperate raps on the door. When I opened it, I saw Bro Ayo. He was a church member. Quiet. One of those faces you barely noticed. Now he stood there, drenched from the rain, mascara running, eyes red. "I was going to kill myself tonight," he said. I let him in, gave him a blanket, made tea. He sat on the floor, pouring out everything: heartbreak, job loss, depression, loneliness. Then he said something that cut me deep. I smile in church. I clap. I say, "Amen." "But Pastor, I'm dying inside." And in that moment, I saw myself. Because the truth was, I was dying inside too. In Ayo, I saw a reflection of everything I had buried beneath the title, the suit, the sermons. That night, the pastor and the parishioner were just 2 bleeding souls in the same room. After he fell asleep in the guest room, I sat on my prayer mat. But I couldn't pray. I cried. For the member who died despite our fasting. For the couple I counseled who still split. For the friend I trusted who betrayed me. 3 weeks before, I had come home from a hospital visit to find my door chained. The rent had bounced, and no one knew. How could they? I was the pastor. I was the man of God. I was supposed to be unbreakable. But that night, I broke. I finally whispered what I had buried for years. "God, I'm tired." That Sunday, I stood in front of the church and preached a message I didn't rehearse. The power of weakness. No theatrics, no shouts, just the truth. "Some of us are bleeding behind the pulpit," I said. "We fight your battles, carry your burdens, but who carries ours?" The silence that filled the room told me I wasn't alone. People began to cry, not because they pitied me, but because they recognized themselves in me. The next day, I collapsed in my bathroom, not from sickness, from exhaustion. I was hospitalized, IV in my arm. No strength to lift a Bible, let alone open it. The associate pastor told the church I was on a retreat. But the truth? I wasn't seeking God. I was drowning. And as I lay in that hospital bed, I knew if I didn't let go of the image would kill me. So I stepped down, before the pulpit became my grave. I vanished. No updates, no messages. Just me, a retreat center, a journal, and silence. I met with a counselor. I walked alone, slept, wept. And in the stillness, I found him again. Not the God of performance, not the God of pressure, but the God of mercy, of presence, of rest. When I returned, I didn't wear a suit. I didn't climb a pulpit. I sat on a stool. "I want to apologize," I said. for pretending to be strong when I was breaking. The church didn't turn away. They leaned in, and something shifted. A culture of honesty was born. The altar became a hospital, and the people began to heal. 2 months later, Ao started leading a support group for young men battling depression. He was vibrant, alive, free. After one session, he walked up to me. "You saved me that night," he said. I smiled. "No," I told him. "We saved each other. Some warriors fight in public, others bleed in private. But pastors? We often do both. So the next time you see the smile, the sermon, the suit, remember, behind every pulpit, there's a person. And to every true man of God out there, God watches you. He sees your effort and your sincerity and hard work. He will reward you when the time is right."